screaming out, I'm still not dead yet. I'm still not dead yet. I'm still not dead yet. I'm still not dead yet.
Microphone checking. Checking of the mic. Checking of the mic. The mic is checked. Yeah. The mic is all checked. Throat is all cleared temporarily. We shall see. Alright, what do I want to do? Guys, it's Thursday, July the 31st. I think that's right. It's the last day of the month, so I think it's the 31st. I don't know. I have no concept of time anymore. It's I'm riding solo. This is probably a short cast. I wanted to give everybody an update on what is my life. You know, it's been a while. I've had issues. I've had some technical issues. So I've been lazy. I mean, a combination of lazy and a combination of technical issues, but, you know, things are getting good. Things are getting good. I had this little shitty laptop that's constantly overheating. I got it from Sammy Boy before he moved. So I made the mistake of selling my laptop because I never used it. And then I didn't move with my desktop because I didn't have a permanent place to live. So it seemed kind of pointless to lug that giant son of a bitch around. So I didn't. So I didn't have a computer. So then I got this old shitty laptop from Sam that just sucks. Half the keys don't work. Battery doesn't stay charged like it needs to always be plugged in. It's constantly overheating and shutting down. It's just not a good time. So I tried podcasting with that. For the first handful, was having issues, was getting annoyed. So I was just like, I'll hold off a little bit. But then I have this little Zoom camera that is, the camera is very mediocre, but it does have an audio only function. So I've used that. I use that for like 3 podcasts. Which, the sound is alright, but it's hard for me to level things properly. Because it's all on one channel. So if I'm interviewing someone who speaks louder than me or speaks softer than me, I have a hard time, leveling us out. And maybe it's a thing that's possible to do, but I don't know how to do it. But either way, I just think it's easier when they're on solo tracks for me to actually balance things out properly. So that was part of the reason. The other reason is just I've had waves of busyness, I mean, technically I've had the most free time of probably my adult life, I've been working in film, for anyone who isn't aware. Started that in early April. I had 15 days in April on a short film. And then I flew back to New Brunswick for a week, did some shows. And then I came back. I did an episode of a TV show, which I don't think I'm allowed to say. But I probably am. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You can ask if you're curious. So I did that. Then I flew back to New Brunswick again to make up a show that was postponed because of weather. So did that. Stayed for a few extra days. Spent Mother's Day with the family. Then I flew back. Did another episode of a TV show. Then that wrapped. And that was the finale. We had a wild party. It was a good time. Then I flew to BC. Flew to BC for a wedding. I went and I did some shows there too. Wedding was great. Got to bomb terribly, emceeing at Yuck Yucks in Abbotsford. Cross that off the list. And then I got to also follow that up with another terrible bomb at Andrew Packer's Jokes and Tokes. So, that was fun too. And then I did some wandering around the province of British Columbia. That's how I spent the Monday of my trip. Then the Tuesday was my birthday. I spent that hanging out with a guy Ryan, his name is Ryan. I worked with him at McDonald's briefly. He lives in BC now. Hadn't seen him in 7-8 years. But I went and I spent the day with him. He showed me around some different cool spots in Vancouver. And then we went to Yuck Yucks in Vancouver and I did a show there. Which went very well. Which was nice. And then on the Wednesday, I did some more wandering around. Then the Thursday I headlined a show in New Westminster, BC, which is like close to Vancouver, at the Laugh Line Comedy Club. Headlined that bad boy. I did well, light crowd, but you know, I can't complain. I can't complain with how the show went. And then I went to a wedding on the Friday. Then I left the wedding. I went to a show at Halifax, Vancouver, did a split middle. And then I left Yuck Yucks before the show was over. And I went back to where the wedding was. And I indulged in some after partying. What do you call that? Wedding... I don't know, alcoholic beverages and wedding party stuff, but I had to limit myself on the drinking because I had to drive like an hour to where my Airbnb was. And then I got up on the Saturday, did some more wandering around Vancouver. And then I went and did a show at Yuck Yucks. And then Ray Romano dropped in and did a set. So that was cool. I got to meet him. He was a nice dude. We performed on the same show. He didn't actually see me perform. He had got in just before I went on stage, and he was in the back introducing himself to everybody else. So he didn't really get to actually take in my set, which is unfortunate. But, you know, as soon as I got off stage, I went into the green room, and he introduced himself to me, which was really cool. You know, it was very cool when someone that big is just like, "Hey, how you doing? My name is Ray." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know who you are. Like, you don't have to do this. I thought I was going to introduce myself to you." So then, and then he told me, he's like, "I'll be honest, I didn't get to catch most of your set. I was in, you know, saying hello to everybody, double checking with Ron Jostle, who was the headliner, make sure he was okay with him doing a guest spot on his show." I was like, man, he's a humble dude to just be like, as big as he is and still be like, "Yeah, I'm just going to double check, make sure things are all right." So, you know, that happened. But then he also said that he did hear the audience reaction, so he could tell that I was funny. So that was pretty cool. And then that was pretty much it. Then I flew back to Toronto the following morning, which was a Sunday. And then I don't remember what I did, but since then I've done 4 commercials. I've been working in the art department, so it's just like a lot of driving around, picking up props, setting things up, making things look cool, and then changing them last minute because the director isn't happy with how it looks, or he changes his mind, or whatever. But it's been pretty cool. It's exciting. It pays well. I don't do an excessive amount of work because I'm still relatively new, so it's all about making connections and stuff like that. But like, it pays well enough that I don't have to. So I've had so much free time over the last couple of months, and I've just been enjoying life. You know, I've been spending time with this lovely lady. I don't want to say her name because I don't know if she wants me to say her name. But she's pretty cool. Been talking for a couple months. We've been hanging out. Life is good, you know. Yeah, life is good. I guess that's the moral of the story. But I just recently got myself some new toys. So I finally got a new laptop, so I don't have to worry about, you know, any overheating issues. But I sold my audio interface that I was using, and I bought myself a Zoom. So now I got straight audio Zoom. It's portable. I don't have to worry about needing to have it plugged into my computer. The audio interface that I had worked fine, but it had to be plugged into the computer in order for it to work, which was a pain in the ass because then I always had to lug that shitty laptop around. Now I don't have the shitty laptop, so it doesn't matter as much, but it's still nice to know that I don't have to have the laptop on me. I can literally just throw this thing as tiny with a couple microphones in my book bag and I'm good to go. So I'm happy with that. It's also going to make recording sets easier too, because I can record the audio with this and it sounds pretty good. I don't know, you know. Well, here we are. It's the end of the month. I had some training. I got to do orientation to get into the union for film next week, Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday. It's a couple 8-hour days of orientation, but then after that, I'm good to work with like legitimate TV. Before I was like doing reality TV. That's what I was doing, and commercials. So now I can do actual film, actual TV. So there's a lot of cool shows I might be getting to work on, which is, there's one show in particular, I can't say what probably, but it's like there's a lot of big names on it, so that's exciting. Maybe I'll meet one of these people. Maybe it will open doors for other things. Who knows? Probably not, but it's fine. I just think the idea of working in film and television and potentially meeting people will lead to other opportunities. So I've been doing comedy. I haven't been doing stand-up as much as I should be because I've been kind of focused on other things as well. For the longest time it was just stand-up. That was my main focus, which is fine. But then I just found other things that I'm also passionate about. And working in film is one of those things. So when it's long days, when I'm doing that, I'm very limited to what I can do. But then I have free time and I can kind of do whatever I want, whenever I want. But I've also been writing sketches. I bought myself a GoPro. I have one of those Huawei phones that are banned in the United States, but it's got a good camera. So between the GoPro and the camera on my phone, I still got my old iPhone, which records in 4K, and I got that shitty Zoom camera as well. But between all of that and the Zoom audio thing that I got, I think I can do some good, solid quality sketches, which I'm excited for. Plus, I've met people in film that are interested in helping out. It's like we all benefit from it. I get to write and try and create something that I'm proud of and add to my reel, I guess. And then they get to kind of do the same for things that in areas that they're good at. So we combine each other's talents and we hopefully create something cool. So kind of be on the lookout for that. We'll make something hopefully good, and then I can use that as like a writing credit, and I can potentially get a job writing in film or television or something. This is like, look, this is something that I wrote myself. This was me. I created this. And maybe it leads to something. Maybe it doesn't. And either way, I'm okay with that. But ideally, if I could make a living doing stand-up, that would be perfect. But there'd just be so much free time during the days. And that terrifies the shit out of me because I don't want too much free time. I want free time that I'm happy with, but like if I could work like a Monday to Friday kind of day job writing and then have my evenings and weekends free for stand-up. And then you do that whatever 6 months of the year, and then the other 6 months you're free and to tour and do whatever. I would like that. That's kind of what I want to do. So hopefully this will help lead to that. And maybe it won't. I don't know. I don't care. It's all about taking risks. That's how you get somewhere in life. But yeah, so things are good. And so I do orientation next week, as I said. And then on Thursday I pick up a rental car. And then I hop in it with some good friends, Ethan O'Reilly, AJ Bate, and Joe Botello. And we drive from Toronto to Bathurst, New Brunswick. And then on the next Friday, whatever that day is, should probably, have this shit ready. It would be smart. I think it's like the 8th, the 9th. So on the 9th, August 9th, next Friday, we're at Studio 2 in Bathurst, telling some jokes for the Too Broke to Party tour. That show's at 9 p.m. You can find tickets on the Eventbrite. I don't know, just search Too Broke to Party, Bathurst. Or you can find on Facebook, go Too Broke to Party. Or Instagram, Too Broke to Party. But I think that's like 2, like the number 2, Broke, T-O, Party. But yeah, find us on Facebook as well. Or me, Matt Keenan Comedy, Joe Botello, AJ Bate, Ethan O'Reilly, any of us. If you find any of us, if you know any of us, if you find any of us, find the social media info, all of that's on there. So you can go. You can buy tickets. And tickets are selling at an impressive rate, Like, I thought that this was going to be a sad tour, and so far it's looking like it might be okay. Tickets, it's looking promising. Like, it looks like Bathurst will sell out. It looks like Moncton will sell out. St. John will probably sell out. St. John better sell out. That's where anybody that I think enjoys my comedy, that's where they're located. So if they don't come out, then you're all dead to me, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Then we got Fredericton. Fredericton, I'm confident in. Troy Haynes knows what he's doing. He's promoting that show. Halifax, I'm worried about. Not going to lie. So if you know people in Halifax, tell them to come out to that show. You know, that was the one that I knew I was taking a risk on booking a venue that was probably too big of a venue, but it was also one of those things that it would just be cool to do. So it was an investment on my part, and hopefully it turns out okay. And then we close out this whole tour with a fundraiser for the Tom Donovan Arena in Renous, New Brunswick. That's very near and dear to me. For those of you that don't know, Tom Donovan Arena won Crafts Hockeyville this year, so they're getting like $250,000 for a renovation on the arena, and then we get to host a NHL game. So they're not hosting the NHL game in Renous because it's too small. They're doing it, I think, in Bathurst, which is, it's not far. Maybe an hour or two. I don't know. But when they decided to submit Renous for Craft Hockeyville, they did it in honor of Thomas Dunn, who is my cousin. He passed away tragically last year. And the whole community rallied together, and they ended up winning this whole thing, which is impressive because it's a tiny, tiny community. So it's very cool to see such a small community win something like this. So I decided that I wanted to do a show in the Miramichi area anyway, because I've got a lot of, family in that area. So I was like, you know what? Let's try for Renous. Let's help raise some money. Let's do a fundraiser. So we're doing a show at the Renous Rec Center, which is right next door to the Tom Donovan Arena. Tickets are $25. It's a fundraiser. Not only will it be the guys from the Two Broke to Party tour, but it'll also be some local favorites, some Miramichi legends. Legends might not be the right word, but I mean, some of them are legends. Maybe not all of them. I don't know, but come out to the show. So it's like, again, it's the four of us that are doing the tour, but then also there's Joe Butler, Jimmy McKinley, and Matt Richardson. They'll all be there. So it's exciting. It'll be a fun show. Very talented show. There's 300 seats. Tickets don't go on sale until Monday. Whatever day that is, August 4th or something like that. And they're available various places around the area. Pizza place, I don't know the name of, Pita Pit, the Rec Center, all that fun stuff. But it will very likely sell out. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of buzz going on. People like to support this cause, but then also it's a comedy show coming to this small community, so they're all excited about that. And sometimes those are the best shows just because they're like, oh, there's something going on here. What? So that's cool. And again, like I said, I have a lot of family in that area, so just them alone will probably come closest on it. But if you know anyone there, tell them to come out. That would be cool. And that one's important to me. And I think it's a good way to kind of cap off this tour. So yeah. Those are kind of some plugs. I didn't give all the specific dates, but I probably should. So I'll do that real quick right now. So Bathurst is on Friday the 9th, August 9th at 9 p.m. St. John is August 10th, Saturday, August 10th at 7 p.m., I believe. And then August 15th, which is a Thursday, that's Halifax at the Bus Stop Theater, 8 p.m. Friday the 16th is in Fredericton at Club Chrome something. It's another bar that's associated with Club Chrome. I forget what it's called. I always forget what it's called. But I'm sure you can figure that out. That's, I think, 7 p.m. as well on the 16th in Fredericton. 17th is Hell's Basement in Moncton. The 18th is this fundraiser for the Tom Donovan Arena in Renous. That's at 7 p.m. So if you know anyone in any of those areas, if you're in any of those areas, come out, please. Please. We got to make money to pay for this tour. As a Two Broke to Party, because any cent that we're getting is going towards accommodations and rentals. So we're pretty much feeding ourselves. So the more people that come out, the more we're likely to survive, basically. It's kind of my thoughts on the whole thing. So I want you guys to come out and support it, because that means a lot to me. And then, you know, if you're just listening to this and you know who I am and you want to hang out, throw me a message or something. We'll figure something out. I don't have a whole lot of free time, but, you know, it's exciting nonetheless. Those are the main things that I really wanted to talk about. You know, just kind of, I guess, what's been going on with me in the last little bit. What's been going on in my life. And, like, I guess that's pretty much covered it all. You know, I don't know what's coming up. The future is a blur. For once, after this tour, I don't have anything in the near future. I have a few shows in Toronto when I get back, but, like, I don't have, like, there's been nonstop, like, I've had something in the near future pretty much since I moved here. Like, I moved in, it's been almost a year now, 11 months ago. And, you know, so there was the move. Then there was starting a new job. There was that job sucking, but then there was also going home again over the holidays and doing Halifax as well. And then coming back to Toronto, and then going to Thunder Bay, and then coming back from Thunder Bay, and then starting in film, and then going back to New Brunswick, then coming back, then going back to New Brunswick, then going to BC, then, you know, coming back, I don't know, then more work in film, then, you know, East Coast again. So, like, it's just like, it feels like every month or every other month I've had something substantial going on. Something new, something exciting, something fun. And this, I'll get back at the end of April, and then I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to work in film, I'm going to put my head down, work a bunch, save some money, and then maybe do some more touring. I don't know. Maybe I'll go on a vacation. Maybe I'll pay off my debt. That's a big one. I should definitely pay off my debt. But just, you know, I'm still alive. I'm still not dead. So that's good. This is the main thing. This is the whole point of this podcast. And hopefully I'll have more, you know, content coming out. You know, I just released an episode with my friend Michael Weinrib. If you did not listen to that one and you're listening to this one, go back and listen to that one. You know, even if you don't know these people, like, it's cool. You get to learn little bits about the people, and sometimes they're funny. I like to try to be comical with it. I'd like you guys to learn a little bit about what's going on with me, plus learn a little bit about my guest. Maybe, you know, you look them up on the internet and you're like, oh, this is a funny person, and then they gain a fan because of it. You know, maybe I gain a fan because they're on it. I don't know. Like, it's just about it. More than anything, it's about me getting to know other people that I find interesting, but then also sharing it with you, because maybe you'll find it interesting too. So I just released that episode. That was in the can. I recorded that in early May. And again, like I said, the computer was just pissing me off. There's so many times I would be editing it and it would just, like, start to overheat and it would crash, and then I would lose progress and I had to go through and deal with that shit again. And then it's like the fan was so fucked on it that, like, it was also hard for me to hear what was going on. There's an old laptop. I had two ports for, like, headphones, one for left and one for right, so I couldn't even hear both. I'd have to set it, like, I couldn't, it was just irritating. I could only hear it through one ear. So it was hard for me to tell how things were sounding, and then I got so tired of it. So I gave up. But I have another episode that's in the can as well that I did with Ryan. Ryan Gao. Goddamn, I always forget last names. I don't know anybody's last names. But Ryan is a funny guy. That one's going to come out within the next few days. Same thing, that's been in the camp for a couple months. You know, we met in Fredericton at the Wilson's room, and he's been in Toronto for the last year. Not doing comedy, just living life. You know, I think he should do comedy because he made me laugh when I saw him do comedy. But he's a nice dude, and we kind of talked about, you know, what he's been up to over the last year, and, you know, had a fun conversation. He asked me questions, I asked him questions. So that was a fun one. Definitely check that one out. Check out any of the past ones. And then also I got another one, this solo one, obviously, but then I'm later today, if all goes to plan, I'm busting You know, a little throwback to the fun with S&M. The Sammy Boy. Sammy Boy's going to be on. You know, we got some, we're going to do it over the phone, but it's not going to sound like it was over the phone. He's got equipment, I got equipment. We're both going to record ourselves as we talk to each other over the phone. Then he'll send me his file, and I'll throw it together with my file. So then we get clean quality of him, clean quality of me. Boom, throw that shit together. It sounds amazing, maybe, but probably better than just over the phone. But I'll catch up with him, and it'll be back. Anyone that misses the Fun with S&M days will get a little reunion. It's exciting. I haven't seen that guy in 7 months, 8 months. You know, like we moved up here together in September. That he moved back in December, and since December, you know, I've just been crying myself to sleep because Sam isn't here. So it'll be cool to do that with him. I don't know. I just think that you should listen to everything that I put out there because I'm narcissistic. That's not true. But it's just, you know, I want to eventually make a living doing the things that I enjoy. And for that to happen, I need other people to enjoy them. You know, you can't make a living doing something that you enjoy if nobody else enjoys your work. It's one thing I know for sure. You know, like I think even successful hitmen, right? There's clearly some people are like, you know what? I'm a fan of what you're doing. You're not. You do a good job, man. You know, like I didn't even know that you were a hitman until I saw that ad on Craigslist. So, you know, like you're pretty discreet about what you do. You know, I'm very impressed. You know, your business card is very subtle. You know, like I'm telling you, like I think that the only way that people would know that you're a hitman is if they went out of their way looking for a hitman. You know, and you haven't been caught by the cops, so that's impressive in itself. You're doing a damn good job. Right? You don't go to a bad hairdresser. You know, they gotta be good if they want, you know, unless that's what you're into, you know? Unless you're like a very weird artsy person and you're like, no, I like hair that looks weird because it's artistic. It's deep. You know, maybe that's your thing. I don't know. But if that's your thing, then yeah, sure, I guess you like a bad hairdresser. But then are they really a bad hairdresser? You know? How many people have to like your work in order for you to not be considered bad? Bad doctors. That's not a thing, you know? There's like who... Like, I don't know how that would work. You're like, you gotta go in for like emergency surgery, and you're like, no, actually, can I know that I could potentially die, but I would rather wait and see someone else. Just, you know, I've heard bad things about this doctor. So, you know, I would just rather chance dying while I wait for someone else than to have to associate with that person. I don't know. I'm just rambling, you guys. I just want people to think that I'm talented. That's what I just want to trick people, you know? Drink the Kool-Aid, you guys. Drink the Kool-Aid that is my comedy. Right? You drink the Kool-Aid and then you can come out to a show. Come out to this new show. I'm creating a new religion. You know, you can go see me do a sermon with some of my friends at any of the states that I listed before, and then we'll all drink Kool-Aid together. And you won't regret it. Alright, I think that's enough rambling for me. Also, I want to do merch for this tour. If you're coming out to this tour and you want merch, let me know. Because, like, I don't want to invest money and buy it if nobody's going to buy it. But if you think that would be cool, you know? I want to get a fan. I saw these little fans. I think they're USB fans. They say Too Broke to Party on them, and they have all of our handles. Buy those, sell those, you know? Like, I can get a good price if I buy them in bulk, but it's like, do I want to buy them in bulk? If I buy if I don't buy an excessive amount and I sell them all, then, you know, we make a little bit of money, and it might make life a little bit easier for us on this tour. So I kind of want to do that, but I also just don't want to do that if I know people aren't going to buy them. So if you're planning on the tour and you listen to this and you're like, yeah, I want to buy a fan that says your social handle and says that you're too broke to party, then, you know, if you want to do it, let me know and I will do it. but I need like a couple people to let me know. Otherwise, I don't know if I want to do it. Anyways, come to the show. Follow me on the social medias if you haven't already. Real Fake Matt K. I have a website now. That's something I could have talked about. You know, I had one before, and then I just was dumb, and I didn't use it at all. And now I also still don't really use it, but like I kind of do. But you can check it out. It's mattkeenancomedy.com. Has all the show info on there as well, and links to the Facebook pages so you can find the Eventbrite and all that fun stuff. It's got my bio that was proofread and corrected by this lady that I've been hanging out with, because that's what she does for a living. So, you know, it's a decent bio. Like, I wrote it, but she made sure it was spelled and properly punctuated or something. I don't know, that kind of thing. So that's on there. And then there's like a video of me telling jokes, and then there's like what else is on there? You can buy my comedy album. That's on there. There's links for that on like iTunes, or stream it on Apple Music and Spotify, or buy it on Google Play, any of that stuff. You can do that. You can listen to my podcast. That info is also on there. You can listen to it straight off of the website, or you can find the Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, find those links. So, you know, there's stuff on there. It's like, it's not a bad website. You know, I put some time into it, even with that shitty fucking computer. So, check that out if you want. Find out the show info if you don't remember, but I'll probably put it in the description of this and throw some links in there as well, so you can just click that if your podcast player supports that, and if it doesn't, then fucking die. I don't care anymore. That's not true. Yeah, come out to the show. I'm tired of rambling. And you know, if there's anything that you recommend, like I want to show these guys something fun and exciting, because it's like their first time on the East Coast. So like I want them to have a good time, like obviously for comedy, which is why I want people to come out, but also that's for me. But I also want to show them different things. So like in any of the cities or in the areas of those cities, if there's something cool to do that you would recommend, let us know, and we'll try and do that. You know, that would be exciting, I think. Maybe it won't, but yeah. So if there's I don't know, just let me know. You can tell me whatever you want. You can just like, if you wrote a poem that you're really proud of, you can send that to me as well. You know, maybe I'll read it, maybe I'll share it, maybe I won't do anything. Maybe I'll print it out and then use it as toilet paper. Maybe that's what I'll do for merch. Toilet paper with our faces on it, right? It's just like, eat my ass. Goddamn. This is going downhill quickly. I'm going to end this now. Thanks for listening if you listened. And I feel like this may have been my least boring solo podcast that I've ever done. That's what happens when you have some things to say. Life is good. Come out to the shows. Follow me on the socials. And just continue being nice people. I'm going to release this right now. Bye.